people say it's not even a vaccination, it's a genetic experiment. What do you think?
Yeah, so it doesn't really meet the criteria, but I suppose there are three waves of adverse events, right? There's the adverse events, which is more or less like anaphylaxis in the first week. Then these vaccines shouldn't be given in a second dose, so I know they're planned, a lot of them, for 2 vaccinations, but the real adverse events will happen, whatever the mRNA is in the vaccine, that when the person comes across that, it could be in February, March 2021, or in a year later, that would be when in the animal studies maybe 20%, 50% or all of the animals died. So I'm also saying that people over 80 who get these, between the combination of the first adverse events, which is about 2.5% in some vaccines, 1 in 40 people, have adverse events where they are not able to function or work or live life normally. For the second vaccination, it could be 1 in 10. But for the over 80-year-olds or 75-year-olds, I would think that about 80% of them will have life-limiting adverse events or die when they come across the mRNA again. And for others, it's hard to know. It could be half of the people will be severely. And what it does is, this gene therapy or medical device is actually setting up an autoimmune disease chronically. That's what it's setting up. So it's a bit like injecting people peanuts, or, but they don't know what it is. And then you come across something and then you go into your adverse events. And the adverse events is you start this, it's anaphylaxis first, the first wave, anaphylaxis, allergic reaction, the second wave. But the third reaction, when you come across whatever the mRNA is against, you have stimulated your immune system to have a low-grade autoimmune disease, not immunity, to yourself, because the mRNA is expressing a viral protein. You make yourself a genetically modified organism. So the immune system is meant to push the viruses out, or the bacteria, but you actually see it in your body, in your cells. The autoimmune disease is attacking yourself, low grade. When you come across the virus, with say February, March, that stimulates the immune system to get rid of the virus, but then it suddenly sees that you have viral proteins in your cells and in your organs. Your immune system attacks your own organs. You then, after about a week of that, go into organ failure because your immune system is killing your own organs, and those patients will present as sepsis initially for another week or two, and then will die from organ failure. And why the elderly die is that if you have 1 or 2 comorbidities, the energy that the immune system requires to boost your immune system will make them very tired and exhausted. And then they just don't have the capacity, if they have underlying conditions, for the immune system. Well, normally, because this mRNA is in every cell of their body, it's almost unstoppable, because each time they destroy, we'll say, the heart or the spleen or the lungs or the liver, the mRNA is expressing the protein in every cell. So just as a solution, what we urgently need is a repository of, like, every 1 in 100 or 1 in 200 vials that are injected, especially into the elderly in the care homes. They need to be stored in a biorepository of the vaccine vials randomly, so that when the people start to die, we can actually see what is in this vaccine, or we should be doing it now. So that I am concerned that maybe there are multiple mRNAs in this vaccine and not just something for corona. We should be sequencing the mRNA, because if it was influenza as well or other viruses, we would be priming these people to the natural viruses that are circulating. So there needs to urgently be quality control, random, for doctors to be required to give 1 in 100 to a repository, and someone like me could forensically, analyze what's in these vaccine vials, so that when the elderly start dying, we will know. We should be knowing now what's in them. So it's absolutely a dangerous gene therapy, should not be given to the elderly.